Hey there, gang. Time for another grading video, and this time out it is an all Looney Tunes grading. We got 10 issues of some early Golden Age Looney Tunes and Merrie Melodies comics here to look at. So, if you like comic books, and if you like Bugs Bunny, or even Porky Pig, or Elmer, stick around. We're going to have some fun. Hey there, Bubby. Welcome to Shanghai. My name is Duke. This is a grading video. Please do like, share, subscribe, do all the groovy things. You can track these books on eBay. .com Comics is the seller name, and these will probably be up on eBay within a week or two after I post this video. And yeah, so let's not waste any time. Let's get right to it. Let's dive in. Got some early Looney Tunes books for you. So this one is Looney Tunes number 10. Number 10. And you can see here they're having a little trouble with the logo because to me, this reads like Merrie Melodies Looney Tunes, not Looney Tunes Merrie Melodies. So it would take them a little while. Well, by the next issue, you can see they've got it so it reads a little more. But this one doesn't even say comics on it. So you get some early model characters here, and Leon Schlesinger was the Warner Brothers producer for the cartoon studio. Didn't have anything to do with the artwork. He was not a cartoonist, so that's probably just a stamp. And this is from the Ralph collection, the infamous Ralph collection. He wrote his name in all his books. And this is another L&M book, about 9 issues of Looney Tunes. Had this L&M Comics. I've never found anyone who can tell me what that is, what that's from, what that means. But anyway, so these early books we want to check, make sure the cover's attached, and it's not. So that's going to shoot us right down. And because you can see this cover's got a big old, about 3-inch bottom spine split, 1/2 inch at the top. So the question is, what about the rest of the book? Is it seated by Leon Schlesinger? No, 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 no. That's even worse than by Bob Kane, because at least Bob Kane created the character, or co-created, and and did some of the artwork. Leon never saw this book. Didn't create any of the characters. Didn't have anything to do, really, other than just signing the checks. So I want to check and see if this is complete. Looks it. There's the centerfold. Somebody has filled out all of the puzzles in here. Looks like they got most of it right. This is probably Ralph. Probably Ralph. Ralph figured out, hey, that's a giraffe. Boom. So yeah, except for those centerfold puzzles being filled out, the book's clean and complete. Well, semi-clean. Oh, and some unfortunate racism here on the inner pages, those black stereotypes. So I think this is going to be I think I'm actually going to go down to 1.5 on this, just because the cover, I mean, if it was just detached, that'd be one thing, but the cover is pretty ragged in addition to being detached, such that if you were to try and flip this, send it to CGC and get it graded, inside the case, it's still not going to be very presentable as far as a display copy. And I don't know what this redness here is on the edge. I can't believe that's part of the original. Well, maybe it is, because you got blue over here. Oh, red, white, and blue. Duh. Sometimes I'm not too swift. So I'm going to 1.5 on that. This one's nasty. Heavy rust on the staples. Water damage. This one is almost not even desirable. It's got a lot of, or it had, well, I guess the tape is still there. Some of it, this tape has come off, and you just have the residue, but you do also have some of the tape here still too. Here's some more racism stuff there, if that's what you're into. Chester turtle, centerfolds detached. The inside of the staples look good, but they're rusted on the outside. I think that's going to be I'm going to go down all the way down to a 0.5 on that, just because, I mean, that's pretty ugly on the back. And is the cover actually attached? Well, it is because of the tape residue. So 0.5, well, it's not about as low as you can get. That is the lowest grade you can give a comic book and still give it a grade. Don't worry though, it's going to get better. Things will get better here. Here's Petunia Pig. You don't see much of Petunia these days, even when you do see Porky. Ralph, 7. That must mean he was age 7. I don't know. Is the cover attached? Nope. It's detached. Wartime book with just one staple. 1943. The inside's clean. Clean and complete. Let's check it. Let's check it. There's some Chinese. Well, it's a little hard to call them stereotypes. I mean, they're anthropomorphic. They're animals. You know, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. It would be 48, 52. So I think this one I'm going to go up to a 2 on. I could almost go to a 2.5, but I'm going to stick with a 2. So the cover's detached, but the interior is clean and complete. And there's no, you get a little kind of 1/4 inch spine split up at the top, but the cover's not all that ragged. Here's another one with the turkey. It's all about who has the bigger axe, right? And they had to take out Sniffles and Merrie here because Bug's ass was in the way. And is the cover detached on this one? Nope, it's still attached. You get some weird ink staining here on the inside. Well, that's not ink staining, it's somebody who wrote something. Because that's like W-A, W-A, W-A over and over again. Is that a stamp, maybe? Some Elma. Said Henry Hawk. Is this the first appearance of Henry Hawk in the comics? I don't know. I'll look it up. Beaky Buzzard. Ooh, there you go. How to draw Porky Pig. If you ever wanted to know. I never found any of these how to draw things at all useful, because it was always making that last step from that to that. It was like, Yeah, I don't know. That's quite a jump. I like how the because it's Porky Pig, the directions are given in stutters. That's funny. That is genuinely funny. All right, I missed the centerfold. I want to check and make sure this book is complete. Boom. Oh no, we got a page cut out. Look at that. You see that? See right there? I don't even think that's the actual centerfold. This is the centerfold. So somebody cut out one page of the Beaky Buzzard story. I wonder if it had an ad in it. Like one side had an ad they wanted. Yeah, it's an ad page. You can see the story page 34, 35. Or is it? Maybe that was manufactured that way. Like to make it one less page. Oh, I don't know. I gotta look that up. Let's look up and see how many pages this is actually supposed to have. What did we decide? This is issue 17? No, this is actually 26 we're looking at now. So it says this is supposed to have 60 pages here at the Grand Comic Database. So now let's count them up. Yeah, maybe I can do it on camera. That doesn't make sense. But that centerfold page isn't complete. And you can clearly see that's cut out. Huh. So somehow it was manufactured like that. I can't explain it. If you can explain it to me, leave a comment down below. But I counted it up. There are 60 pages here, and 60 is divisible by 4. And yet that one page was cut. I'm mystified. I really am. I'm going to call it complete. I'm going to say it's a complete book. And I'm going to give it a 3.5. Tempted to go to a 4. But for those initials stamped on the inside. I really am completely mystified by that. Well, let's move on. This book's rough. Cover detached. Yep. A little ragged. We got a big old, I'd say a 6-inch rip there. And we definitely have some stuff missing. See, here's another one. See? The page inside this, so you've got the centerfold, and then the next wrap in is just half the page. It's, well, that's detached. And then this one is actually stapled, but see? It's, so where did they get the other half page from to make it come out right? That's what I don't get. Well, I fucking don't get it. I literally don't understand. That one looks like a half page too. But it's not missing because it goes 11, 12, 13. Why did they make this book like this? Must have been some artifact of the printing press. That they had to do it weird like that instead of just regular, 4-page sheets. They had to do that kind of jury rigging thing. Huh. That is just the absolute craziest thing. All right, well, this one is going to get... See, because that you've got that half page in there and it hangs out funny, it got all mangled. And that page got mangled, but it's all there. Anyway, that is issue 31, and we're going to go with a 1-0 on that. And this is issue 34. Again, signed by Schlesinger, although he had nothing to do with it. Signed by Ralph as well, who had more to do with it than Leon did. Got some mold down here, that's not good. Got a big old rip in the back cover. Cover is attached. It is a 1 staple again. Centerfold is attached. Everything looks good. Looks complete. At least I think it's complete. It seems strange we just... Oh, that's why. The story actually starts on the inside front cover. That's why I was like, why is there no splash panel? It's because it's over here. Man, really took them a while to get things straightened out of how to build one of these things, huh? Excuse me, it's early. Because of that mold, I think I'm going to do a 1.5 on that. Now from here on in, these last few issues, the condition improves markedly. This is issue number 39. And this is from 1945, January 45, so this is still a World War II book. 2 staples, though. You know, what do we got here? Well, got some wear around the edges, some blunting in that corner. A little fold there and a little kind of a split there. Spine looks decent. Back cover looks good. We got a lot of stress marks here. Inside back cover looks good. Inside looks clean. This is all good. You could totally, I know they make new books, but DC that does the Looney Tunes books today through Warner could totally reprint any one of these stories. And maybe they should. That would be cool. Right? Although it might be expensive because they probably would have to, they'd have to derive the art from a printed book, which would mean a lot of cleaning up. They don't have the original plates, I'm sure, or stats or anything. It's another one where the story actually starts on the inside front cover. A little bit of a 1/4 inch rip right there. I think I'm going to do a 4 or 5 on that. I was kind of tempted. I was hemming and hawing over whether it could be a 5. But, you know, you've got some blunting along that whole top edge. A lot of stressing here on the back cover that shows up pretty well. And you've got some tearing here around that top staple. And this corner's a little rough. It's close. I mean, I was going to say it's right on the border of 4, 5, and 5, but I mean, 4, 5 is itself a border grade, you know. So I think, God, I could call that a 5, but I'm going to go 4, 5. 4, 5, so that's a very good plus. And now this is issue number 42, with Bugs pulling himself out of a hat. And I don't know, to my eye, these look like they come from 2 different model sheets. It looks like 2 different Bugs. It almost looks like the Earth 2 Bugs is pulling the Earth 1 Bugs out of his hat. That would be a cool issue. You know, for DC that does the Looney Tune books today, if you could have the modern Looney Tunes characters cross over with their very early versions, and you could have, you know, like a Crisis on Earth, well, Crisis on Earth Bugs? I don't know what you would call it exactly. That's a brilliant idea. I hope somebody from DC is watching this video, or you should write down that idea and email it into DC and say, hey, you know, your next Looney Tunes comic, let's make it a Crisis on two Earths with the modern and the early versions of the characters teaming up. Because, I mean, some of the characters like Daffy, Daffy's personality changed considerably. And Porky, he had quite an evolution from his early look, you know, into what we recognize as Porky today. And even Bugs. Bugs didn't even have the Brooklyn accent in his first several appearances. And then Elmer, well, Elmer started out as kind of the Egghead character, and you can kind of look up Egghead and see who that is. Morphed into Elmer, still looking like Egghead, became more recognizably Elmer, and then for a small stretch of cartoons, they made Elmer, they gave him a different body type to make him look more like the guy that did the voice. And that only lasted a few cartoons. But anyway. And then they could also have, you know, some of the, you know, just like on Earth 2, you have characters like, you know, Dr. Fate and Wildcat that didn't replicate on Earth 1. So, you know, the Earth 2 Looney Tunes world could include like Sniffles and characters that didn't translate. Whereas Earth 1 would have the characters from the what was it called? The kids. What were they? Oh, I forgot their names. Oh my God, I'm so old. Anyway, this is a decent looking book. Oh yeah, I take that back. You got some water staining right here, so that's going to hurt it. You get some rust on that bottom staple. That's going to drop it right down to like maybe a 3. It's a remarkably clean looking book otherwise, though. Wasted a lot of your time talking about my fantasy multiverse Warner Brothers Looney Tunes book. Sorry about that. Like I say, you know, come for the comics, stay for the high quality content. So that's going to be a 3. I mean, it looks good. But then you come over it and you get that giant ass water stain and the rust on that bottom staple. I could probably go to a 3.5, but you know what? I don't want to. I don't want to, and you can't make me. Well, I guess we know what year this was published, 1946, actually February, so it was probably actually published in 45. And it's pretty rough here along the spine. And we have some water staining here. And some water staining here. And some water staining here. But the staples are clean. There's no rust on the staples, so that's good. And I am hard on rust on staples because, I mean, that's a characteristic that doesn't get better. It only continues to degrade. So this one I'm going to call a 3.5 because of the water staining on both sides of the book and on some interior pages. But because it's free of rust, we won't go down quite so much. And here's a decent looking copy. So this is issue number 72 in 1947. That's a good looking book, actually. I mean, it's only got this W defacement here. Somebody wrote something, or probably might have written it on a sheet of paper that was on top of this. You can see a 72 kind of indented here on the cover. Maybe if I hold it in the light correctly, you can see it. But we got some stress marks, but no real tears to speak of. Well, on the back, along the top we do. Staples are clean. Book is complete. Inside is clean. Well, I say it's complete. Let's verify that. Let's find that. There it is. I'm going to call that book a 5. I could go to 5.5, but some of these stresses here are pretty heavy. And there's, again, that indentation which shows up a lot more in person than you're probably seeing it. There's a small stain right there, which I don't know how well you can see that in the light there. And there's a little bit of kind of dimpling and wrinkling that you probably can't see on camera. So it probably looks a lot better on camera than it does in person. And because I'm going to have to, in order to get this uploaded, I'm going to have to do it at 720 instead of 1080. You probably won't even be able to see all the detail. But I'm going to do that at 5. Which, I mean, hey, a 5.0 for a 1947 for a 73-year-old comic book. That's pretty impressive. Well, what else is impressive is we have reached the end of another grading video. So thank you for sticking around. We'll break out Bugs to help us say goodbye. Even though Marvin hasn't been born yet at the time of these books we're looking at, we'll have him come along as well. Whoops, get him on camera. He was over here working on his X5 space modulator. Oh, I suck at this. Anyway, thanks for watching. And so until next time, goodbye, good luck, and please be good to each other.